My friend is loose with her tongue and always makes comments about the size of my chest, despite knowing I don't like how big they are, and in a recent work call, she called me out again for their size, in front of our other colleagues, and embarrassed me to tears, and I absolutely lost it on her afterwards, and now she hasn't shown her face in days. Posted by you/throwaway collab. I have big boobs. I'm currently at 52 kilograms, and there's nothing I can do to change the size of these things unless I have surgery. I'm also extremely shy and from a very conservative family, so my resentment and shame towards my bust is an ongoing issue. My friend Sarah is one of those unfiltered free thinkers who says whatever is on her mind. She's also slim, and her chest is very much in proportion to the rest of her body. We work together, and I'm always secretly jealous of how great shirts and tops look on her, whereas I feel I look very sloppy and unprofessional with oversized, ill-fitting clothes. Sarah has this way of always bringing up my boobs in conversation, starting off complimentary but often ending with a subtle insult. She knows they're a physical feature I'm uncomfortable with, but she doesn't let up. Examples of things she'll say are how my boobs look good now, but give it a few years and they'll be down to my knees, ha ha ha. Or she'll show me comments on Reddit where people are discussing chest size preferences, and most are commenting how they much prefer a smaller bust over large. Or just a general reminder of how work or men will never take me seriously because of my cartoon boobs. I know she's trying to have lighthearted fun, but it gets to me, and I've told her a few times to drop it before. Now we're working from home, we all have daily video calls and meetings. Uniform is not necessary and we can wear what we like. A few days ago, it was extremely hot, and I was wearing a lighter, more revealing top than my usual baggy cover-ups. During this video call, in front of 6 other colleagues, Sarah starts vocalizing her thoughts on my appearance. Holy crap. Put those away. You look like you're in a corno. We don't need to see that first thing in the morning, ha ha ha. I was mortified. One other colleague laughed along, but the rest looked uncomfortable. I felt close to tears, made an excuse, and left the meeting. Sarah called me up half an hour later asking me what was wrong, and I went off on her. Told her to go F herself and was sick of her constant jabs about my appearance. I went on a 10-minute tirade and hung up. Sarah has been off sick since that day, and we haven't spoken again. I'm wondering if I was too harsh and maybe should call and apologize for my outburst? Was I the jerk? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Absolutely not the jerk. On a work call? That's workplace sexual harassment. If it ever happens again, contact HR. Edit. I want to echo what many others below have said. You don't need to wait to tell HR, you should feel encouraged to do it now. You have witnesses who are clearly uncomfortable with the situation as well. The choice here is yours. Commenter 2. Info. Have you been clear before about how you feel about her comments? Ops response. Yes, several times. I had even opened up to her a few years back about my personal insecurities, stemming mainly from my family making me feel ashamed of them. Sarah is fully aware that it's a sensitive issue. Op adds an edit to her post. I'm fuming. I just spoke with a colleague, John, who was part of the video call that day, and he told me that Sarah's been telling everyone that it's me that's been bullying her and making her feel insecure about her appearance. When she made those comments during the meeting, it was in retaliation to how I've made her feel. Apparently, I said she looks like a boy and called her flat-chested and ugly several times in the past. I have never and would never say this. I don't even understand the stupid boy body insult, because a small bust has always looked very beautiful and classy in my eyes. Anyway, John knows she's full of crap, and has suggested we speak with HR. The others will also back me up. I know most people here suggested I do this, and I wasn't sure at first, but F it, I'm reporting her. I don't know why I ever considered her a friend. She's effing mental and annoying. Op adds a second edit to her post. I now feel stupid for even asking if I was the jerk. I thought I may have been at one point because the video call was amongst mostly workmates rather than clients, and I wasn't sure if my sensitivity towards my body image made me overreact to a joke that could have been innocent. I now realize it wasn't. I've also spoken to another coworker who is closer to Sarah, and she thinks Sarah may have already reported me to HR. She said the phone conversation we had after the meeting was filled with abusive bullying language and physical threats. It wasn't a pleasant phone call, but the worst thing I said was she go F herself and that I don't want to speak to her again. The rest of the conversation was just rehashing all the comments she made about my body and how it made me feel. She also claimed that I have been making inappropriate jokes about her appearance and work ethic through the years, and this confrontation was a long time coming. She also suggested that I've convinced the guys in the office to take my side by being a flirt and a tease. Did I mention that I'm stupidly shy? My head is swimming, and I think I may be dealing with an actual psycho. I don't know how it's come to this ridiculous level of craziness. All I wanted to do was get on with my effing work in peace and get through this crappy time, but now I have to deal with this BS. Adds a third edit to her post. I've contacted HR with my complaint. I have a lot of old text messages and emails with comments and memes Sarah has sent, making fun of my chest size. John and other colleagues are fully supporting me, as well as my manager. It will take a while for them to get back to me, but I'm confident that things will be sorted and Sarah will be dealt with. My boobs alone aren't 52 kilograms, 114 pounds. My overall weight is 52 kilograms. I mention this because my chest seems much larger on my small frame, making clothes that others wear and look nice and look completely gaudy and cheap on me. I can't lose any more weight to make a difference in my bust size. I won't get surgery, but I have been working on my body image issues. My shyness and upbringing did a number on me. People's comments don't usually devastate me as they once did, but Sarah obviously tried her best to break me down. Thank you to all for clothing suggestions. I will definitely look into tailoring some tops, and I have spent some time checking out Bravissimo, which looks great. In hindsight, I should have confronted Sarah more sternly in the past. I guess I was trying to avoid conflict. Others have suggested I may have allowed her to gaslight me, which may be true. I just want to move on at this point. Adds a fourth edit to her post. The co-worker, Lucy, who keeps in contact with Sarah and told me earlier that Sarah may have reported me to HR, has just phoned to tell me that Sarah has suffered a serious panic attack. Lucy does not want to take sides, but has suggested I reconsider taking drastic action. Sarah is too unwell to talk to me herself, but has asked I drop my complaint and she will drop hers, citing the whole thing as a misunderstanding and stress-induced disagreement. I have had panic attacks before in my life, and I seriously felt like I was going to die. It's a horrible feeling, and if Sarah has honestly just had one herself, I don't want to push her too far. I still want to address her comments over the video call, but I'm wondering if I should just drop the other complaints. Sarah has asked to move teams so we don't directly work with one another, but it doesn't seem she wants to apologize yet. And just to clarify to people who assume I was wearing a bikini top or boob tube during the meeting, I wasn't. It was a short-sleeved plain t-shirt, which hugged my chest more than my usual baggy tops. I don't like to hold grudges, and I think getting her fired during a time like this may be a crappy thing to do. I feel she has already punished herself by displaying this effed up behavior to others and losing a lot of respect from coworkers. If we don't ever have to interact with one another, I'm up for that. I have a suspicion that Sarah may have found this post and read it. I thought I would feel bad about that, but I really don't care. Adds a fifth edit to her post. I'm not dropping any of the complaints. Sarah, F you Michelle, and I have spoken, and although it started off promising, she is mentally unhinged and without a conscience. I did not realize how deep her hatred runs. Not only did she mock all those things I had told her in confidence about the way my family treated me growing up, she accused me of effing every guy from work to get ahead. Now I know where some of those fake office rumors about me came from. I've been such a naive idiot, and allowed my shyness and aversion to conflict to stop me from fighting people who manipulate and walk all over me. I don't need this misery in my life. If she's reading this, get professional help immediately. I know you desperately fancy John and, as you said, despise the way he looks at me. I know it bothers you that he took my side and has been a great support. Maybe I will go for drinks with him when lockdown ends. If I don't make any new updates, just assume that the right person was reprimanded and faced the consequences of their words and actions. Update 18 days later. I took into account the advice offered, and I thank you guys for your help. HR meeting call with supervisor went well. The main incident in my original post wasn't recorded, but all 6 colleagues wrote a statement confirming what Sarah had said and how inappropriate it was. I didn't realize, but John had also asked others who work with us if they, at any point, heard Sarah attack my character or physical appearance in a cruel or improper manner, and if they did, would they be willing to write a statement. Apparently, she has been saying quite a few outrageous things behind my back, and it seems that a lot of the hurtful office gossip about me did originate from her. I submitted a few examples of messages and emails sent by Sarah during work hours, taking jokes about my appearance too far. I also included the messages where I asked her to stop causing attention at work, as I'm extremely uncomfortable with others regarding me in that way. Her claims of my bullying her and calling her flat-chested and ugly at work were dismissed, as she couldn't specify dates or find anyone to corroborate her story or even provide any examples of me ever being hostile or unprofessional. The phone call we had after the video team meeting, where she claims I used threatening language against her, was also disregarded as no recording was made, and it was her word against mine. Luckily, I don't think they believed her on this point, as I've never displayed anything near the type of aggressive behavior she was accusing me of, and my character references had me down as the quiet sort who gets on with work. While things were being reviewed, Sarah decided to quit. She's still adamant that I bullied and threatened her and felt no choice but to leave the toxic environment I created. I've been reassured that there was no wrongdoing on my part, except that I should have reported things much sooner when inappropriate comments first started. From what I gather, Sarah's general behavior at work has raised concerns for a while, and I wasn't the first to complain about her. Some people were confused as to why I had considered her a friend in the beginning. When I joined the team 3 years ago, it was my first job out of uni, and I was incredibly nervous, but Sarah was the first to ask me questions and offer to hang out. She was a bit overbearing and rambunctious, but I appreciated her efforts to get to know me and coax me out of my shell. We often did have a good laugh, despite her sometimes making a joke at my expense, but I tried not to take it to heart and occasionally reminded her to wind it in and be more considerate of my feelings. It's only been during the past 8 or so months where she's become especially rude and callous. I still refer to her as a friend of sorts, but I never thought she would take things as far as she did. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Wow. So happy that things worked out for you. Sarah will learn her lesson as she moves on and understands others won't take her crap. Good on you for standing up for yourself. You deserve a good hug and a pat on the back. Ops response. Thanks. I don't feel like I did much, as Sarah seemed to dig her own hole, but the support on this sub has been wonderful, I must admit. Commenter 2. Did you get drinks with John like you said you would? Good on you for standing up for yourself. Ops response. Things are actually getting quite interesting between John and me. I know in my last update of the original post, my dig at Sarah was childish and petty. I would never use him just to make someone jealous. I've always avoided workplace flirting or romance because it's awkward as hell, but I've definitely admired John from a distance, as he's very easy on the eyes, and the Irish charm is breaking down my barriers rather quickly. His support throughout has been incredible, and I'm really lucky to have him fighting my corner. Tensions are obviously building, and we're looking forward to the day we can meet up for drinks. Op adds an edit to her post. Thanks to everyone for the kind words, advice, and encouragement, it's really blown me away. I stepped away to talk to John for a while and let him know what a great guy a lot of people think he is. His little smile was adorable. Despite the misery at work I had to go through for a while, everything has turned out pretty amazing. I do love my job now that I can actually get on with it without the office drama. Finding out how my other coworkers feel about me has been incredibly reassuring, and we've now set up a weekly virtual pub night. My outlook has improved massively, and I'm taking steps to manage my anxieties and put aside past negativity.